Hello, Summoners. We are back once again with the IPL killing spree. I'm Hat Person. He's the Red Baron. And we got a good match. I know you're excited for this. You're excited for this one.
It really is going to be an exciting match. And it's, last week we did have a really fun match with CLG versus Goose, and that went well. This time we've got CLG versus Curse. And Curse, a lot of people don't give them credit. They've been one of those top teams for a long time, but they haven't really had their breakthrough. They haven't, won that big tournament or event. So people just kind of don't consider them, in that upper echelon, those one of those top five. But that's really the quality team that they are.
You have your big teams. You have your CLG, you have your TSM, you have your Dignitas. But Curse for a long time has just been kind of right on the cusp. They really are in the same group as Goose and Reflex and the rest of them.
They're as good as CLG or TSM. Or
Absolutely. I've seen them play at IPL 3. Yeah. I've seen a lot of teams at various events, and they're up there. They're definitely up there in skill. And also, last week we were on Volibear Patch.
Yes.
We log on. We're about an hour about we have an hour about we're just about to go live.
Yeah.
And we're getting patches on the tournament realm. And I'm like, we are on Ari and Victor now.
We are. And the thing that excited me the most about that is we actually have Vigar has been buffed.
I know you're a fan. I know you're a fan.
Unfortunately, I just found out Jackie is not playing, because that was the thing that I was most excited about. Yeah. For those who haven't seen Jackie's Vigar,
I have never seen it. I want to see it.
He played Vigar before Vigar was buffed, and Vigar just got some huge buffs in this patch. So it was like, oh please, just give it to me. I need it.
So he's playing Vigar before it was cool then.
Yeah, basically.
I had to say it. I'm sorry. I had to. The opportunity was too great. But
what we do have here, though, is this is a big game, because not only is Curse kind of looking to establish themselves as one of those top tier teams, but we also have the intrigue of Double Lift moving over to CLG from Curse, and Elements. He was told that he was going to be a substitute for the team, but really just sideline, going to step away, and he's joined Curse. So we got Elements and Double Lift switching, and then some new players. Cop is coming on, and Crumbs as well.
Yep. I've seen a few scrims with Curse before. I enjoy Cop's play. I'm hoping to see some Caitlyn tonight. Get the police Caitlyn skin be super ironic today. I don't know if we'll see that, but we'll see. And so whoever wins tonight's match will win $300 and the opportunity to come back next week. But we got some stuff for you guys tonight here too. Look at this. We got a Razer mouse pad here for you guys.
Super jealous.
Super jealous of this. And no, here's what you got to be jealous about. We got the IPL hoodie. Now this is mine. We're not going to send you mine, but we'll give you one in your size. IPL there. We got a nice text on the back. So what we want you guys to do, if you would like the opportunity to win the Razer mouse pad and the IPL hoodie, first, you go to subscribe to our stuff, youtube.com/IPLLOL and twitch.tv/IPLLOL. Then here's what you got to do. Hop on Twitter @IGN Pro League and just tweet at us who you think is going to win tonight.
Yep.
And you are entered in for the opportunity to win all this
We need to figure out how we can get a
I
great
want
mouse
one.
pad like that.
Because I still have no tower, ever, just moving to the Bay Area. I did not even take my tower with me. I don't even have a mouse or keyboard to my own. But
he's been doing Word documents on his phone.
Yeah, I've been trying to play LOL on my phone. It's not working very well. And as you may have noticed too, we got new mics this week.
We do. German engineering. So that I'm a big fan of that.
They make good stuff. No, it's just we listened to you guys last week. We had some mic issues, so we took the old mic. I just I gave it the good old Fusro Da into the wall. It's in a million pieces right now, but let's not worry about that. Let's worry about the game, because everyone here is in the lobby. We're about ready to go. So I think we're just gonna, we're launching, and we're just gonna go see and start and pick these pick bands and see how things are gonna roll.
Yeah, it should be pretty interesting. I think it could go any number of ways. You'll probably see a Rise band. Yeah. Just generally
but
really strong
right out
laner.
the gate, Curse just takes Nidalee right out of the game, because if you don't know about Hot Shots Nidalee, you don't know.
And it's wild. Nidalee, she has been nerfed some. She's still strong in a lot of regards, but you always see Nidalee, and you're just thinking, oh, she's kind of weak. She's not that bad. And then Hotshot plays her, and it's like, I don't even know where this is coming from.
Yeah.
It just those spear poke and whatnot. It's pretty fantastic.
York getting banned next from CLG. It's just York's a very dominant top lane champ.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't like playing against York. I don't think a lot of people just don't.
Yeah.
So it's a good call just to get him out right as quick as you can. And Vayne being banned by Curse now.
Yeah, the targeted double lift ban. I mean, double lift, one of his strengths is he's arguably, one of the strongest AD carries at farming. He just, he farms like, I don't know, a madman. And so Vayne as a champion, if she gets farmed, then she's just absolutely devastating. Like it's a terrifying, thing. So let's just take out Vayne. It's really Doublelist's favorite champion, and just how much power he can inflict in the game, and so that won't really be an issue. And actually, we see the next ban is going to be Shaco. So I don't know if anyone from Curse really plays Shaco a lot, but he is a very aggressive jungler. He's got great counter jungling capabilities, which is particularly strong if you can control those buffs. That's huge. So they are going to ban that out.
What does it say about Shaco? He's anti-fun.
Yeah, I
Shaco's
guess so.
anti-fun. So does this mean we're gonna have a fun match? I
think
we do.
I think people who play Shaco are probably having a pretty good time.
I do. I mean, I do enjoy Shaco. I do enjoy playing him in jungle. But when I play ranked, I just want him out.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to give anyone the opportunity to play him.
Now, Curse does have first pick, so we actually see a Sona ban from CLG.
And Rise also banned.
Yeah,
so those are your 6.
Sona's actually pretty interesting because Sona, as a support, she's particularly strong in kite comps, and she does have that movement speed. You can have Shirelia's Reverie, and for the bonus movement speed. So great movement speed. The counter initiation with the ultimate is just fantastic. And then Elements, that's really been his main as a support. He will play some others like Alistar and Taric and whatnot, but he really does favor Sona. And I don't know. I guess that just a really strong overall champion. So kind of targeted there as well.
All right. So and then Rise. I mean, Rise is just a good ban.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a good, solid ban. He's very powerful mid. He has, once he gets that mana, he gets that Frozen Heart. Just, he shuts down a lot of champs.
Now, it should be interesting to see what we have here. There's Rammus is available. Just really terrifying ganks. I might expect
Curse goes ahead
CLG to take that.
Curse takes Zillion.
Yeah.
Zillion mid? Because I don't think we're gonna see him played support.
No, and that's the thing. Zillion's support, if he doesn't have those items, then really as the game progresses, he just becomes an ultimate, and that's all he is. But Zillion mid actually has fantastic lane control. The first couple of levels, Zillion starts off with like very low armor and MR. I think it's actually like 12 armor at level 1. Like it's just really low. So he's a little bit weak early on, but once he gets a couple of levels, gets those nukes up, he can just really devastate a lane. He's got the double bombs, which is really effective, and then against another AP champion, he's got the revive, so you can't take him down. Particularly against someone like Kennen, which we actually see CLG taking. Kennen is kind of slow to pick up those kills, so it's kind of clear. You've got the slicing maelstrom, I think. And you got the electrical surge and whatnot. It's obvious when your death is coming, when you got this impending doom with Kennen. So Zillion just throw on that revive and should be fine in lane.
Yep, and CLG is going to also take Rammus. We've got that confirmed now. And Rammus is just a solid. He's come back into favor. I like it. Like for a long time, Rammus was not really commonly picked, but I enjoy his little resurgence lately.
And the big thing with Rammus is, I mean, he's just got terrifying ganks. You could have good map awareness, good vision, and still with that
the power ball is too fast. You engage too fast, even if you have something warded. That speed, if you're really out of position, he's still going to get you. Plus, so we have Rammus ultimate and Kennen ultimate, two big AoEs. So we may start seeing a whole bunch of AoE strats coming from CLG.
Maybe. It is kind of interesting. The way to deal with Rammus is actually he's very strong that first clear through the jungle, but after that he really just slows down a lot. So it can be very difficult for him to maintain jungling speed. So he's very effective to counter jungle, and we actually see Maokai coming in. Maokai's very kind of a map control kind of jungler. He's very much like Nunu in that regards. Doesn't need a lot of items. He's got great map control. You can, counter jungle fairly effectively with Maokai, particularly if you start getting the team involved.
And not to mention, we also have the Maokai ultimate.
Yeah.
Which is it's kind of like the counter AoE ultimate. It's like, so we have Kennen, we have Rammus, they're in there, they're using their ultimates. Maokai just throws it down. Damage reduction for everybody. Yeah. So I think it's a good counter pick.
It should be interesting to see where CLG goes with this, though. They do, Kennen is particularly strong with dragon control, but Rammus as a jungler, not really the strongest at taking dragon because, I mean, he can tank it fairly well, but he will take a lot of damage, needs his team there. Since he doesn't generally get lifesteal, you can go kind of anti-carry Rammus, so you will see wriggles on Rammus sometimes, but I think Saint Vicious is probably going to be playing tank, getting some early gold per 5s. But back to the dragon control, Kennen, because Kennen at level 6 just has such fantastic fight control, if they try to engage while they're doing dragon, then Kennen can basically just take on the whole team by himself.
Yeah. So I'm a little confused by the Soraka pick here on CLG. Why do you think that is?
It's a really good pick for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
One, CLG, they don't have a very strong damage team right now. Kennen, he's kind of a low damage champion. He's got this disables. He's really good in early fights, but he's kind of a low damage champion as the game progresses. Rammus is kind of a low damage champion, and when you have single target like kind of low damage champions, then if Curse was to pick up Soraka, then those heals would just be devastating to CLG. The second thing is that Corki is actually, he shreds armor. So they've got someone who's really strong early game is Corki. He's kind of a nuke DPS carry. Well, Graves has his passive, so he can get the armor and magic resist from that passive, and then also the armor from Soraka's heals will allow them to be more aggressive in lane and just I don't know, generally be content down there.
I forget every so often that Soraka's heal gives you that armor boost.
Yeah, it's
a little added bonus. I
fantastic.
keep forgetting it's there. So I mean, I was kind of expecting something like maybe a Janna.
Yeah.
But no. Thank you for that review. Soraka is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and it should be interesting. Actually, Soraka will do very well against we have Curse picking up Riven as well. And Riven, very strong champion, but it's all of her abilities are physical damage. So if you have a physical damage team, Taric is armor reduction, Corki is armor shredding, Riven is physical damage, so not a lot of magic damage coming from this team. So if they get something like Aegis, early on, that will definitely help out their team with that armor, and then also the armor that Soraka is going to be getting.
And
them.
Riven is just a very dominant top lane champ.
Yeah.
And we're gonna see the CLG take Aurelia to see if we can't shut down Riven. Now that's a pretty even lane too, isn't it? Like Aurelia.
It is
Aurelia
a very
Riven.
even lane, and that is something Irelia is kind of a champ that Hotshot plays some. It is kind of like a passive farming champ to a degree, and then once she gets going, she's just particularly strong in fights. Very tanky champion, but it's kind of interesting. Irelia has a little bit more lane sustain than Riven does, so she's going to look to be patient, drag that lane up.
Now look at this. Look at Riven. Heal Ignite.
Well, actually, there you go. That's pretty interesting. It goes along with how they're going to look to be functioning in lane. Riven is a very aggressive champion, has a ton of damage output, great burst damage.
And she's got some good escapes too.
And yeah, good
Great escape.
survivability.
Flash, may not necessarily be something she needs because she has her dash, she has her Q. But I'm really interested to see how that works out.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen. Well, I mean, it's really uncommon just to see someone without flash. Period. Unless you're support.
It's really going to be the damage of Riven versus the sustain of Irelia, and seeing if Irelia can, drag that lane out, especially once she gets level 6. That ultimate, you just heal up so much. But I think a lot of it's going to come down to early game control of the map, dragon control. It should be pretty interesting to see. The teams are generally pretty even. Both Maokai and Rammus are actually very kind of weak as far as dragon control is concerned, but they do have great ganking potential, great map control, so it should be interesting to see. I think a lot of it's going to come down to the junglers, Rammus versus Maokai.
I think we're going to come to a lot between the junglers and also a lot on top lane.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that carries out. So these are your teams for game 1. Curse has Riven, Corki, Taric, Maokai, and Zillion. CLG has Kennen, Graves, Soraka, Rammus, and Aurelia. We will be back in just a minute. Game 1, IPL Killing Spree, Curse versus CLG. See you in a second. Welcome back to IPL Killing Spree. This is Game 1, Team Curse versus CLG, and we are joining this game already in progress.
So right off the bat, we see Elements sitting here. He actually put a ward into this brush. He doesn't want them to be able to control this brush. I think that's going to be really, key for this lane. He's coming right up the river too. He wants to just have, a lot of control over this map. And I think that map awareness is really going to help out against Rammus.
Yep. So now Rammus is already starting off on red buff. He's just a little bit ahead of Maokai. So we got a small advantage on Rammus here. I want to see how that's going to play out in the first early gank of the game.
Yeah, and that's something where, Rammus, once again, is very strong early. He's actually coming over here. He's got the double buff, and he's coming up for Riven. And this is really going to be scary. Riven actually over-pursuing a little bit.
Rammus backs off. I think that was a good choice because Aurelia is really hurting.
Well, the big thing is also Rammus was very close to running into those creeps, and that really just would have been devastating for that gank. It really would have had no impact whatsoever. Riven could have just gotten out of there.
Mm-hmm. So down bot lane. We got Graves and Soraka. We're pushing pretty hard up on the Corki and Tarek here.
Yeah, it's it's pretty even lane so far. Yeah. Not a lot to be said for the laning phase. We do have Riven forced to back, but Riven did push to the tower, and that's actually something that's really effective. You see Riven buying that early ward, and that's always a good decision. Just you know about when the jungler is going to be aggressive, so push to the tower really quickly, get back for some gold, buy some items, buy that ward.
Especially for Rammus, who can just come in with the Powerball and just zoom right into lane to try and go in and get that taunt off.
And now we have actually Hotshot as he's doing the exact same thing. He is missing about a creep wave, but he knows he needs to get that ward out because Riven and Maokai, that is just going to be a terrifying gank.
Yeah, that top lane's gonna have a lot of action. I can tell already because we were discussing about this earlier. It might be very even.
We do have Maokai coming bot, but they do see him. Good map awareness from both teams. A lot of control of the map by Curse. We see 3 wards already on the map. 4 wards. Riven hasn't placed the ward yet, actually. But 3 wards already on the map. And actually, Soraka's done her own bush ward here. Really wants to make sure that I guess neither team can really control the bush, and that's really key for top lane. We actually have Riven. Rammus is coming up through this, and it should be pretty interesting.
Yep. So we got Rammus is top of lane. He's trying to make some presence in lane, trying to do something with it.
Okay. So I'm back here, and we have Rammus actually just going to be continuing the jungle. Riven being really aggressive. Look at how much damage Irelia is taking.
I think is hurting so badly. Wow.
Riven definitely has the damage output advantage. We were talking about it, earlier. Who's going to win this lane? Irelia definitely wins the sustain, but Riven does have a lot of physical damage.
So we're about we'll past 5 minutes, getting 6 minutes into the game. Not much of an advantage being taken by either team yet. It's just we're still early. We're still in the farming phase.
Though
the ganks that have come up have been not really much have happened.
CLG has actually been doing very effectively in this bottom lane. It is even in CS, but Tarek has to go back. He's been doing all he can to keep Corki topped off.
Maokai's up and trying to do something with top lane. He's going around the turret. I think we're anticipating a push on Aurelia past tower. We'll just have to see what happens with that. It's just a nice little extended setup. Oh no, he's actually going to be taking the small golems away from Rammus. And Rammus has backs, but we'll see. He's not going to.
This is kind of what we expected, though.
Yeah, this is very close to what we were expecting to see from this game. Rammus, and it is really just a jungler battle. Rammus versus Maokai. Right. And who's going to be more effective?
We do have Rammus coming through here, but this sapling from Maokai is going to be, just perfectly placed.
This is like he's not even going to bother. He's not even going to bother going into River. He's like, okay, I've been spotted. Let's go now. Let's go around again. Let's try this again. So he's going to go ahead and go right to the wraiths.
And it really is interesting that, we have very aggressive picks, but the aggressive picks have resulted in kind of a passive game. And it's all because you see all this great ward coverage. They really just want to make sure that they're, completely protected and don't let someone get an
wonderful
advantage.
Warding on both teams. And Tarek has even gotten some pink wards. Yeah. Just to try and mitigate their coverage. I enjoyed it. I like that call. I like that call a lot.
Once he knows, where those wards are, it's definitely going to be a good decision. And we are kind of approaching that dragon moment. It'll probably be a late dragon because both teams, the junglers aren't particularly effective at taking dragon. They do have heals, so from their support, so that'll help out. But that'll probably be depending on what happens bot lane. if bot lane is pushed back for either of them, then we'll see a dragon most likely. And we actually, one of those pink wards coming into this brush, to not allow Soraka to get anything, and then Zillion picking up the blue from Maokai.
Right. Yeah, good pass on that, because Zillion is a really mana reliant. Like, all of his abilities are just really expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, Zillion can just burn through his mana in a couple of seconds if you're not careful.
And we still got some exchanges going on top lane, mid lane. Zillion's being a little bit aggressive,
Wow.
trying to, oof. There's quite a bit of damage on there. Zillion, are we going to be making a move onto bot lanes? Zillion's kind of like, indecisive on where he wants to go from mid. I think we're just going to stay in the lane, but we do have some things going off on both teams in the river by Dragon. So I don't know, we may have a push from either team when the moment is just right. They're both looking for that dragon. They both want it.
Those were blue pings, so I think it's Elements, trying to point out where those wards might be, and we actually do see Maokai. He is going to be walking past that ward. Just excellent job by Chowster there, making sure they're covered.
Yeah, just want to make sure, do they react to me walking by their ward? Is there a ward here? Is it still here?
Though if
in the top lane, we got some still fights going on between Riven and Aurelia. Just more exchanges.
The big thing.
Rammus is coming up. He's got both buffs.
If Rammus starts powerballing, the ward will see him, but he will just be way
He's gonna be too fast. He's gonna be too fast.
Riven won't be able to get out of here.
All right, here we go. We got the approach. We got the powerball. Exhaust is going up.
Really
we got the slash. We got the taunt off. Riven might fall here, but Aurelia's too low. Can't do anything about that, and Riven will get away. Wow. They're both going to get away. How unfortunate.
Yeah, but we do have Zillion coming up here, and he's
Zillion can
going to be able to get
boost himself. We may get a bomb or two off on Rammus.
It's not going to be able to do enough.
Just the one bomb.
Just
the one bomb.
Too strong, but with the ignite,
we got
that's a ton. And then the slow, he's attacking Rammus.
Rammus fall. First blood. Aurelia might go down too, but
so
no.
Close. And he actually got the double buff. He probably could have one more attack. Almost would have killed Irelia because Irelia did get very low.
I thought Irelia was going to fall down too, but Riven had her heal up still.
I honestly didn't even think that it was going to be that close. It looked like he was going to be fine. Rammus did have a ton of MR, and
how much MR does he have right now? Actually,
I think it's like 30. Let me see.
We got him spawn.
There we go. My bad.
38.
But then he gets
he's got defensive curl.
50, so yeah, he was about 100 MR, so 50%
still
reduction.
He's still
Maokai
good.
actually coming down. Corki is not here at the moment, but Maokai does have that red buff, so he's going to be able to get some good damage. Hopefully he doesn't take too much. He did get a little bit off Soraka, not really that effective, just kind of wasting his mana, but I guess
getting that harass off.
Lets them know they got to kind of take a step back.
Yeah, it was I'm here. You guys are not going to be pushing tower. I'm still here. Back off a little bit, and Corki is just now making it back down to bottom lane, and we still have insane exchanges going on top lane, but Riven now has a 2-level advantage on Hotshot. Good on.
And
Riven.
this double buff mid has just got to be...
it's going out of control here. He's going to farm this entire lane really quickly. He's going to be pushing tower until Rammus comes around and tells him stop.
We do have this tower, below half already.
Yeah,
and
wow.
If, Zillion can push the tower, that's great. But he could also make the decision. We actually have Kennen coming in. He didn't get the shuriken, but we do have the
ult's going down. Get a stun. Taunt. He ults himself.
He's definitely going to go down here. There's the ultimate. It's actually not going off yet. They're waiting for the ultimate. There it goes.
We still got some time.
It's just a matter of whether or not he can get out.
Coming up. Getting the stun off on someone. Can Zillion get away?
Wow, I cannot believe he's getting out of there. And Kennen is so close to going down.
Kennen, man.
Just barely surviving.
Corki comes in, zooms right in, heals.
And there's the Maokai. The Maokai is going to be able to pick up this Kennen.
Yep, Kennen
there it is.
Up.
But is Corki going to be able to get out of there?
Just barely. Just barely. Valkyrie's still up. No. Gets the flash away. Graves just needs to dash once, and Corki will go down.
Oh, wow. Maokai with the perfect Tristed advance on Rammus as he was powerballing. They're still tower diving here. Graves did have to back off of Corki, but they're able to get the kill, and they're still chasing after Soraka here.
Maokai keeps on taking hits. He will fall, though.
That's a little bit too far.
Wow.
So Graves is able to pick up that red buff.
No, actually, Tarek is not going to get away.
Soraka got the kill.
What?
So Soraka got the kill onto Maokai, and then Tarek got it, but Graves chasing after him.
Can't get that hit. Cannot get that hit.
Wow.
I do want to note too. I believe Corki also got away with what limited health.
Soraka must not have gotten the kill. I don't know. I guess the red buff just wore off right at that last second. That's That's just terrible luck there, because that would have definitely gotten the Tarot kill also, and then he would have had the blue buff as well. That would have been a huge momentum swing. But in the meantime, Riven is able to take this top tower, and Curse off to a huge early lead.
They're pushing those towers. They are playing. See, now we're seeing the aggressive play.
Yeah.
See, now we're seeing what this team can really do when they're on the offensive.
And it's been pretty interesting so far, pretty passive, but it's really getting to that boiling over point. Everyone's just ready to explode, and we are seeing how strong Curse can be as a team. And I think a lot of people don't realize it, but we'll see how this match goes on as it carries on.
Maokai has bought an Oracles.
Yeah, and that's actually a really good decision.
That's a very good decision, early Oracles, because we know that both teams are warding very extensively.
Yep.
So good call on that. Oracles will pay for itself in no time, and they're going to go ahead and take Dragon.
That is fast.
Curse taking down the first Dragon extremely quickly.
Actually, they probably did know. They know that they couldn't engage.
Yeah.
They had all of Curse there, just really effective play. Maokai is a jungler. He's very similar to Nunu, actually, in that he's kind of more of a support jungler. So he can afford to get more wards and whatnot because he's really strong without items. And so that's kind of the idea behind the Oracles. Just give them that map control, and he knows he doesn't need anything else. So.
Yep. So 14 minutes into the game, Curse is up 2 kills and 3K in gold.
Yep.
It's a nice, good, solid early lead.
Yeah, and let's take a look at some of the CS here. Not only are they ahead in kills and whatnot, but Pobelter is up 25 or 30 CS.
30 CS against
Hotshot.
Hotshot. Wow.
And Hotshot normally known for his effective farming, but Riven just being really aggressive and is able to take control of that lane. And then Kennan's also losing mid. Not quite as much, but just everyone's doing very well on Curse, and they're just a very coordinated team, and everyone's taking care of business so far.
Top lane is winning, mid lane is winning, bot lane is even. I would say.
Yeah, no, it's definitely pretty.
So, when you do that math, Curse definitely has the advantage right now in this first game.
And with the aggressive play in mid, in particular, they already have the top tower.
Mm-hmm.
Mid tower is you sneeze on it, it's going down.
Riven is inside the jungle. We are going to spot Rammus. Going to force him out. Now we're starting. Look at how much wards. Look at how many wards right now are in CLG's jungle from Curse. We got 1, 2, 3. We got another one, a Dragon. Man, CLG cannot move in their own jungle without Curse knowing about it.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of wards on both sides. Actually, we've really dropped off from CLG primarily because of that Maokai Oracles.
Mm-hmm.
But, we do have a blue once again on Zillion, just picking it up. And Riven here is
just waiting. She's waiting for her moment to just pounce on Kennen. But Rammus is still trying to find his place. No, he's just, does he have problems? Just stands. I thought he was having some connection errors there for a moment.
Just recalling.
Just recalling. Ah, man. So, bot lane still very even. Look at that damage. That is wonderful damage from Corgi. Man.
But looking at the item builds, much more early game for Team Curse. We do have the Will of the Ancients on Kennen. It's always really effective for laning in particular. And actually, Corki still chasing after him. The stun is already off, but Graves is going to have to back out of this lane.
Yep. But it looks like everyone from Curse is starting to converge.
Yeah.
They're all starting to float down towards bot lane. It looks like they're trying to do what they can, take down the tower. And bot lane is not warded for CLG anymore, so they do not know that Maokai is laying there in wait. So we may actually have something happen here.
The sixth sense of Rammus, he's coming down Irelia, coming into this brush.
Something's wrong.
So they actually curse Sol Irelia because they really expected this gank to be successful. But that's 4 people committed for CLG, while Riven is just going to be.
She's just doing her own thing on top lane. She's just getting those creeps. It's like, if you're going to ignore me, I'm just going to stay here farming. It's no big deal.
Yeah, and we do have a lot of gold for 5 items, particularly on CLG's side.
Yeah.
So that's always an effective decision.
I think Rammus looks like Rammus is looking to build an Aegis, I believe.
Yeah. Where's that? Oh, yeah, that'll definitely help them out a lot, particularly against some of the AoE damage and then the armor shredding.
Look what Aurelia just bought. She bought Elysia's Miracle.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in ages. Like, I haven't seen that since it was released.
Irelia probably could have held on to that Philosopher's Stone for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say it's a bad decision because it is going to provide Irelia with, that cooldown, CC reduction. And then at the same time, Irelia can grab those Ninja Tabi for the physical damage. They've got armor shredding on Corki. They've got armor shredding on Tarek. They've got physical damage on Riven. So that's where the Aegis comes in. That's where that Ninja Tabi is going to come in. And whether or not Irelia can get tanky enough to just kind of run around and wreak havoc.
Yep. So, I mean, I still think, CLG needs to do something about Riven top lane, because if they just leave her alone to her own devices, that's going to be a huge threat.
Yeah.
Huge threat when we enter a late game. She's 13 already.
I mean, Riven already has Brutalizer. She's probably pretty close. How much does she have? She's got enough for a BF sword right now. Zillion was actually able to take that tower, so that's just helping the team gold. They're actually up 5,000 gold on CLG right now.
We're not even 20 minutes in. My.
And just look at this.
Riven's going to go ahead and start attacking the top tower.
And I love this.
Second row in.
You don't see it that often, and it's.
No.
I mean, pros you see it all the time because it's really effective play. This tower is down to half, and CLG is going to have to start focusing on Riven up here because
she's going to keep on pushing top lane, getting those, and I think we're just going to start seeing some huge split push play.
Yeah,
very soon, because they're looking at that first run bot tower, like, man, that should have been down already. I think we should really take that out. We need to get some symmetry here in the first tier of towers.
Tower, what are you doing? You're, leaving us out. You're letting us down.
You're the odd man. It's like the first tower.
But we might have a bit of an engage here. Maokai is going to be able to get out, but everyone from CLG, they know when that dragon spawned, even though Curse was able to pick it up.
Yeah. But there is that ward in that bush that Maokai's not going to be able to take out safely.
Yeah.
But then Maokai should be, one of the primary targets of CLG right now, because they need to get rid of that Oracles. That Oracle is shutting them down so much right now because they're just losing all of their vision just from that. And they're going in on Dragon. CLG's going, they have something to say about that. Ramses goes in.
Wow. Huge engage from Ramses and Irelia.
Okay, focus in on Zillion, but he flashes away. Kennen trying to make something happen with that ult, but everyone just scatters. And Soraka is going to be the first to fall to Riven. She's really low.
We do have Corki and Riven. They are chasing after this Irelia here. Coming back to the main fight, we do have Kennen with that bomb, and then also Rammus is going to go down as well. The whole fight was kind of just hectic. It kind of split up all over the place.
It's just, all the ults from CLG just started to come off one by one, and Curse just scattered.
Yeah.
That was the correct play. They just scattered. Kennen pops the ult. Everyone just back off, wait for it to die down, and then re-engage.
And not only are they getting the dragon here, but Curse is now going to be able to take this mid tower potentially. Actually, they're going to just split up. I think they probably could have gone after it, but I guess we are kind of getting to the point where you might be concerned about Baron or other targets. So they do kind of want to just heal up, get back into this game. They do have this bot tower. They are going to be able to take that though. So
yeah, once we take down this bot tower, I think Curse is going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of a 10K gold lead.
And let's just let that sit for a minute. That's 20 minutes in, a 10K gold lead over CLG. That's almost unheard of.
That's excessive.
Yeah.
That is excessive force right there. That is oh man, it's 20 minutes in is extremely efficient, aggressive play early. When you play aggressive early game, this is your objective, to have that much of a gold lead this early on. And
CLG, they kind of have a team that needs to be coordinated. They don't have a ton of damage, but what they need to be doing is trying to focus people down. They need Irelia to be able to jump on someone, Graves be auto-attacking them, Kennen, with the ultimate, getting those down, because they don't have enough damage to kind of split up. While Curse, on the other hand, they're perfectly happy with that, last fight where they got to just run all over the place because everyone on their team is particularly effective on their own. We do have Maokai, he does want to get his AoE and everyone in the team in the AoE, but aside from Maokai, Riven is just, deadly in 1v1s. Corki also very strong. Zillion, if people aren't focusing, then Zillion can get the ultimate much more easily off onto someone.
Well, and Riven is just so effective right now because CLG allowed her the free farm.
Yeah.
So if anyone, they have no one to blame but themselves. They let her stay there and do her own thing. And also, we were also talking earlier about a battle of the junglers. So let's take a look at that. Maokai 1-1-6, Rammus 0-3-2.
Yeah. Both of them are farming, pretty effectively. Ramus, he will, be very strong late game if he can get some items, because Ramus does kind of become unkillable at a point in the game, particularly with like a Soraka on the team. But at the same time, it's been all about map control, and Maokai has just done a fantastic job for his team with the map control. He has had that Oracle's Riven actually coming up top, and she doesn't know that Ramus is here. She didn't see him, so she's chasing down Irelia here, doing some great damage. Wow, Irelia is getting very low, but now Ramus is coming in, and the two of them are going to be able to take off Riven, but Riven actually jumping around, and Zillion down in mid was able to pick up that kill. Irelia so close with
getting that ignite. Oh,
man.
She almost. I was expecting her to just almost die a little bit, quite quickly from that. But she managed to stick it out, and that just speaks to how powerful she is.
And now,
right now, at this point in the game,
with the kill and with Irelia and Ramus both low, they are going after this Baron. Kennen and Graves are going to try and get engage here. They're really going to be fantastic. Ramus actually flashing into the middle of the team.
I don't agree with that. I do not agree with that at all.
But at the same time, he didn't know when the Baron was. I think that was an act of desperation. Graves going down as well. There it is. And then the ultimate from Zillion off onto Riven. And there's the Baron. So, this is really hard here.
Tarek goes and flashes over. It's kind of a silly play, but
but there's the Maokai.
Maokai comes in with the advance. Kennen dies anyway.
Yeah.
For a second there, I thought it was like, Tarek, what are you doing? It's like, oh, okay, that's why you got Kennen in position for Maokai to target, and everyone just follows in.
And it really is wild how quickly this game has snowballed out of control for CLG.
Wow.
And a lot of times you see someone, a team, they'll take a little bit of an advantage, and they'll kind of slowly push the advantage. That's not what Curse is doing at all.
Curse is just going right for it.
They're just running, straight for the gold, basically.
I mean, look at these stats. Riven has yet to die. Corki's yet to die. Tarek hasn't died.
I mean, it's 12-2, 4-1 in Curse's advantage for towers, 2-0 for dragons, 1-0 for Baron. It's really stacked against CLG right now, and what they're really going to be looking to do. Wow, Graves is actually going to be picked off. Perfect blind, but Tarek is able to get the stun. Can they get the damage? The flash from Graves. He actually threw off the cleanse, I believe, and Irelia chasing after them is going to back up, just not tanky enough yet, and just taking way too much damage.
Those bombs are doing way too much to every single member of CLG. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But I don't know. Basically, they want to try and hold off this game, but I don't know, the more they hold off, the weaker Kennen's going to get. Graves and Irelia will scale very well, but the twisted advance onto Graves, he doesn't have his cleanse, he doesn't have his flash, but he is going to be okay because the rest of the team isn't there. Here's Riven coming in. Irelia was going on to Zillion some, but now she's really out of position. And Maokai, after the flash with the twisted advance across the wall into the base, Riven chasing after this Ram is going to be dealing a ton of damage there, and there he goes.
There's going to be pushing everyone back.
This has got to be
that flash,
close to
that
a GG.
Flash advance was just, sometimes it just happens. You get that timing off, the advance just has to keep going. This happens with a lot of abilities too. But I think, this is just going to be the slow push in for the win. Right now we're just going to be taking the towers. We're going to be getting into that inner row. This is, it's going to take a lot.
We do actually have Graves and Kennen coming onto Maokai here, and he's completely separated from the rest of his team, taking a ton of damage. There he goes with the flash over the wall, and it was a perfect flash. He's actually going to get out of there.
Riven comes up from behind. She may actually have enough.
Might be able to get it, and the flash from Kennen is going to be able to pick up the kill.
But Riven is here just slashing away at Graves, taking out huge chunks of health at a time. Ultimate finishes him off. Kennen
this is definitely it.
Yeah, Kennen's just going to go ahead and take that bomb.
Because while they were getting those kills top, we do have another tower from Curse.
And here comes a surrender vote in the GGs.
Wow.
Curse taking game one in this matchup. Incredible aggressive play from Curse.
I was really surprised by how fast they came out. I mean, there is the change here. Elements versus Double Lift. Game one going to Elements here. I mean, he was very effective. He did a very excellent job for his team, but he's not the reason he won.
Right.
The reason is quite clearly excellent play by Riven and Maokai. Corki and Zillion, they did very effectively as well, but that map control is really what won them the game. Those early towers, that early dragon with those wards.
Yeah. So your first match is in the bin. So Curse is your winner of game 1. And let's look at these. Let's take a look at the item builds just for a quick second here.
Yep.
Before we start rolling into game 2.
It is pretty effective. We do see a ton of damage on Riven, especially the Brutalizer, that armor penetration on all of those abilities. And then finishing it off with the Bloodthirster. You know, Riven was just very farmed in that game. You know, kind of impossible for CLG to deal with. Level 17. So, you know, 3 levels ahead of CLG's highest leveled character in the game.
Yeah.
And then I guess just to look at the gold advantage here, how that kind of trended. I don't know. It really just stretched out for them.
And how do you think? So we talked about the purchase of the Elysia's Miracle.
Yeah.
Do you think that was an effective purchase at all? Do you think it was a wise purchase?
See, it does give some CC reduction to Irelia, and that's really what Irelia wanted, because they do have some good single target focus, particularly Maokai and Tarek. But at the same time, I don't know. I think maybe getting into some later game items would have helped out. I think it's interesting. I've actually heard Hotshot say that Triforce is a terrible item on Irelia. And
I see that because we see these item builds coming up. We have,
but he does have a Phage.
We have the Phage. We have the Chain Vest. I think we were actually kind of going for Frozen Mallet.
Yeah, probably.
You know, Atmas.
But even so, I mean, Irelia, not a lot to do with this game. I mean.
Right.
Couldn't really get involved, and that was a big issue for a lot of CLG. They just couldn't get involved in the game, and you know, it ran away from them really quickly.
Yep. All right, so that is it. Game 1, we are done with that. So Curse is your winner. We will be right back. Game 2, Curse versus CLG in just a moment. This is the IPL Killing Spree. See you in a minute.